Hey there, in this video I'm going to show you how you can load your own plugins into Red Hat Developer Hub. Of course, Red Hat Developer Hub ships with numerous pre-installed plugins that you can enable or disable on the fly. But unlike upstream Backstage, if you wish to extend it with your own plugins, you don't edit the source code. Instead, you load those plugins using a dynamic plugin installer. So let me show you how you can do that. Now, to do it, we're going to first check the version of Developer Hub and the underlying Backstage version it's built from. To do so, I have Developer Hub running over here, and I'm on a settings screen. And you can see I'm running the latest 1.8 version of Developer Hub, and that is built from Backstage 1.4.2.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add the entity feedback plugin to my instance of Developer Hub. Now, the entity feedback plugin is available in the community plugins repository, so it's part of the upstream Backstage community plugins. We just don't bundle it by default in Developer Hub right now. And what I've done is I've checked out the Backstage version in the backstage.json file here for the plugin, and we can see it's 1.44. So the latest version probably should work with Developer Hub, but if it doesn't, you can always check the history here and go back. So when I tested this earlier, I was actually using an older version of Developer Hub, and I had to use this commit here for 1.37. You generally want to keep the version of the plugin, or the version of Backstage the plugin targets, below or the same as the version of Backstage you're running. So I'm going to use this commit, and to get started, I'll head over to my terminal, and I need to make sure a few prerequisites are met. So I'm running node 20, and I also need Podman or Docker installed. I'm using Podman. And I'll also need Git, of course. So with that out of the way, I can go ahead and clone the community plugins repository. Now that might take a second. And once the repository is cloned, I need to, of course, change directory into it. And then what I'm going to do is check out the commit that contains the version of the plugin I'm targeting. With that out of the way, I'll actually change into the plugin directory. So I'm going to change into the entity feedback plugin directory. And then I'm going to enable Yarn and run the standard plugin development setup where I'll run Yarn, compile the TypeScript, and build the plugin. All right, the dependencies are installed now, so I can actually compile the plugin. And now I can build it. And now that the plugin is built, what I need to do is go into each of the directories. So this plugin has a front end and a back end component. So I'm going to build each of those as a dynamic plugin, and then we can actually load them into Developer Hub. So here what I'm doing is I'm actually using the Developer Hub CLI to export the plugin as a dynamic plugin. And we can see here, if we look at the plugin manifest, it contains some metadata that tells us how the Scalprum project is going to load it. By the way, Scalprum, if we want to take a look on GitHub, is a framework for loading React applications, so a micro front-end framework we're using to load plugins. I'm just going to check the plugin version, and I can see a 0.6. So when I actually run the Developer Hub CLI to actually tag the image, I'll make sure that's included. And an important note is output here. So this is the configuration you need to add to your dynamic plugins config to load your plugin. So take note of this, and you'll add it to your dynamic plugins config later. And now I'll push the image. And now we just repeat the same steps for the backend portion of the plugin. So we're running the plugin export command again. This time there's no Scalprum config because it's the backend plugin, so it uses the hooks to load it in a standard backend plugin manner. Check the version. Okay, we'll use that to tag it. And once it's tagged, we'll push it to key.io or your preferred container registry. I'm using key. Again, we have this output here telling us how to add it to our dynamic plugins configuration for Developer Hub. So take note of that. And we push it. Okay, so while that's pushing, I'll head over to my dynamic plugins config, and you can see I've already added these to save a little bit of time, but those are the outputs we saw from the commands where we tagged or exported the plugins. Now, I did add something extra here, a plugin config. And this plugin config is associated with the front-end plugin. And what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, for this front-end plugin, add a new entity tab on the entity overview or the entity viewer in the catalog. Name it feedback. And it has a few mount points. So what we're going to do is mount components from the entity feedback plugin, the front-end portion, specifically the star ratings and the entity feedback response content components. And we're saying mount them as cards on the entity feedback page that we created up here, or tab. And then we're able to, configure the layout too as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and restart Developer Hub. I'm running Developer Hub locally using RHDH local, which is a great project if you want to test things out locally quickly without having to, go through a whole deploy cycle on OpenShift. So I'll do podman compose up, and after a minute, the container will be ready. So I'll go ahead and refresh here. Seems like it's ready. So I'll go over to my catalog, find a entity that's preloaded, and we can see now that there's a feedback tab here. And if I click on it, you can see we have that star rating, so we can actually, give a star rating to the entity. And if we give it a low star rating, this new pop-up appears, and we can add some information and give a nice little note, right, if we want. Now, I'm not going to do that here because I'm logged in as a guest user, so it won't actually save it. But if you were logged in as a real user, this feedback plugin would actually save the feedback to the database. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you can build and package your own dynamic plugin and load it into Developer Hub by editing the dynamic plugins config. The actual configuration itself, which you saw here in the plugin config, this is going to allow you to customize the look and feel of where the plugin is loaded. So we cover all of this in our documentation. So yeah, have fun, build your own dynamic plugins, and share them with us.